how do you get a nice, soft, out of focus background for your coloured pencil pieces or your pastel artwork. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can use pastels for your coloured pencil work or your pastel work to create soft and out of focus backgrounds. I'm Kirsty Rebecca and I make drawing and painting tutorials that are easy to follow even if you're just starting out. My first tip is to use the right surface. I personally work on Clairefontaine pastel mat. This paper works really well for coloured pencil and pastel artwork, so I tend to use it for both, which is great if you want to create nice out of focus backgrounds because you can use the pastel for the background and then you can use coloured pencil for your main subject. Or you can do your entire piece using just pastels. You can use other papers that you use for coloured pencils like hot pressed watercolour paper and things like that with pastel, but you'll find that the pastel doesn't tend to stick as well to those kinds of papers and usually can't get as many layers. And I personally wouldn't choose a paper that has a really grainy tooth to it. If you choose a generic paper labelled as pastel paper, you may find that the surface has quite a rough tooth on it and it will stop you from getting a smooth background. It also doesn't allow you to fill the grooves of the paper very easily, so you're left with this kind of grainy look. In this example here, the top row is pastel mat and the bottom row is a generic pastel paper, and you can really see how much you can lay the pastel on top of the pastel mat in comparison to the generic pastel paper. And you can even see in the last view how grainy it looks even after adding so many layers. I choose to use Clairefontaine pastel mat because it's like a sanded paper with a really fine tooth. It allows me to add many more layers than a generic pastel paper that's not a sanded surface will. I've always used this paper because I liked it from the start. It does exactly what I need it to do and it's readily available here in Australia. But if you can get access to other papers like UArt or Fisher 400 easily, there are a few people who use these kinds of sanded papers and create similar results. Just make sure that you choose one with a really fine grit. And the reason why you want to use pastel mat or a sanded paper is because you need to be able to add multiple layers to be able to achieve a smooth result. Usually when you put your first layer of pastel down, it looks a bit rough. You can see your pastel strokes and it doesn't look very smooth. When you start adding more layers, you'll see that the strokes start to blend together and create a nice soft look. And it doesn't matter what kind of pastel you're using, so you don't need to go out and buy a new set of pastels to do this. I'm going to show you how you can create any out of focus background with 4 different types of pastels. The Conte sticks, which are a harder pastel pencils, and these are Faber-Castell Pitt pastels. Rembrandt soft pastels, which are a much softer pastel. You can get even softer pastel sticks as well, like the Unison or Sennelier, and there are plenty of other soft pastel brands as well. And pan pastels. Before I show you how to create a soft and out of focus background, if you want to follow along with my longer step-by-step tutorials that include real-time footage and voiceover in a variety of mediums including pastel, coloured pencil, watercolour, gouache and more, over on my brand new Patreon channel for as little as $4 a month, you'll have access to any tutorial that I've previously uploaded, like a 2-hour step-by-step tutorial of this tiger, as well as brand new tutorials every month. The link is in the description if you would like to check it out. So the first type of pastel is the Conte sticks, and these are a harder pastel, and you could use the Prismacolor Nu pastels or any other sort of hard pastel that you have. You want to make sure that you lay your pastel on the side so you can cover a larger area more quickly. It also stops you pressing too hard into the paper if you lay it on the side. If you press too hard in your paper, it can be harder to blend out your pastel smoothly, so make sure that you press it with a light to medium pressure. And once you've covered your background with a layer of pastel, you'll want to blend it out. You can use cotton tips, your fingers, a blending stump, a tissue, or there are plenty of other ways to blend things out as well. I usually just use a cotton tip because they're cheap and small, so they can get into any smaller areas. And then once I've blended it out, I go back over with another layer. And you don't have to use the same colours in the same spots. You can vary the colours slightly so it's a bit more interesting. And then just blend out the layer again. And you're blending out the pastel so that you're pushing the pastel into the tooth of the paper. If you don't blend it out, the pastel dust can sit on top of the tooth and it can stop you from adding more layers. Also, blending in between each layer will help keep each layer as smooth as possible so your end result will look smoother. Pastel pencils can be a little more tricky to blend out smoothly, but you can still do it. It's the same theory with layering, but with pastel pencils, I try and put a little more pigment down before I blend my first layer out. So I layer 2 or 3 layers with pencil before I blend it out. And this is to make sure that you've got enough pastel down to blend together smoothly. Because you're working with the tip of a pencil, it obviously takes longer to fill up the page, but you want to make sure that you're not pressing too hard, just like the Conte sticks, otherwise you may end up with pastel strokes showing through at the end. When I apply my strokes, I'm going lightly in one direction and then I'm going back over the opposite way really lightly, so that way it will even out my pencil strokes. And then just work your way up in layers until you get the result you're after. With all of these examples, if you want to have more contrast between the light areas and the dark areas, or you're trying to blend different colors together, you can lay lighter colors on top of lighter colors instead of mixing it up like I'm doing. I'm putting sort of a mid-tone color over the entire area to make sure that the colors blend a bit more cohesively. But if you did want more variation between your colors, like if you've got an out of focus branch and some leaves on the same piece, then you can just overlap the edges of the colors so that the edges blend together, rather than going over the whole area with one color. So you don't want to go over the top of the brown with the green if you're doing a branch, for example, and vice versa if you're doing leaves. And this one is a softer pastel stick, and I'm using the Rembrandt, but you can use other softer pastels if you like. And these are softer than the Conte sticks or the pastel pencils, so it's a bit easier to get an out of focus background. This is the same theory as the Conte sticks, so add a layer, blend it out, and add another layer. Make sure that you're still pressing really lightly and using the side of the stick. If you need to get into those little areas of your background when you're working around a subject, you can use the tip of the pastel, but make sure that you press really lightly there so that you don't make any really obvious marks that may show through even after you've blended it out. You could also use a pastel pencil in the areas that are a bit smaller. And there's no reason why you can't mix up the different types of pastel if you have them available, because they are all good for different parts. If you do use a pastel pencil for the smaller areas, just make sure that you include that same color throughout the rest of the background so it's a little bit more cohesive as well. With the softer pastel sticks, you probably won't need as many layers as your harder sticks like the Conte, because softer pastels tend to add more pastel when you touch the surface. The tooth really grips softer pastels and more of the pigment comes off than with your harder pastels or pastel pencils. And this is the same process of layering and blending until you get the smooth result that you're after. The last one is pan pastels, and these are my go-to pastels for out of focus or smooth backgrounds because they're so much easier to get a smoother result. They lay down smoothly to start with, without any rough strokes, and these are just a soft pastel that's been compressed into this pan, and they are applied with soft tools, SOFFT, and these are probably the best option if you're working with coloured pencils because you can lay coloured pencil on top of the pan pastel. The reason why you can do that is because you can control how much pan pastel you lay down. So unlike the soft pastel sticks, you can actually just apply the bare minimum amount of layers that you need of pan pastel to create that soft look. And then you should still have enough tooth left over for you to be able to go on top of with your coloured pencils. Because you want to still be able to lay little bits of fur over the top of the background that's on the edge of your subject so that it doesn't look like it's cut and pasted onto the background. So you want to be able to add in a little bit of coloured pencil on top of some of the background. Some people even use pan pastel as an underpainting for coloured pencils. And when you lay these down, the first layer can look a little rough, but once you add another layer or two, it will blend out really nicely and smoothly. With pan pastels, you don't really need to blend out each layer if you don't want to because the soft tool is pushing the pastel into the tooth as it goes. If you're using pan pastels for an underpainting and plan to add more details on top, then I'd make sure that you blend it out just in case to make sure that you still have tooth available for your extra layers. But with an out of focus or soft background like this, it's really not that essential to blend out pan pastel in between each layer. And with all of your options of pastels, make sure that you overlap your outline of your subject just slightly so that your background doesn't stop exactly where your subject starts, because it can make your subject look like it's been cut and pasted there. If you're interested in how easily these pan pastels lay down, they're actually really inexpensive for an option for your backgrounds. Soft pastels are hard to blend together to make new colours, which is why you see pastel artists with hundreds of different colours. but pan pastels are very easy to mix together to create new colours. This video on the screen shows you how you can create any colour you like using only 5 pan pastels, so click on that and I'll see you over there.